YouTube, what's going on, baby? It's your boy Ron Real, aka Double R Casa Day, Ron Real today, and not back in the building. But as you guys see, this is another rendition of Puro lifestyle. Of course, like I've told you in the beginning or the other episode, if you guys did watch that one, we'll be covering a multitude of topics just about life in general, while enjoying some other things that are going to be involved. I'm kind of got to watch. I was hearing that somewhere that you got to stay clean for the first 2 minutes of YouTube for them not to flag your video. So I'm gonna try not to have any cursing or talk about certain things until we get a little bit further in depth in the video. But we'll be enjoying some other things. We'll be talking about the topic today, self-love. Also, we'll be covering the topic of you need tunnel vision or tunnel vision to have laser-like focus to succeed or excel. So with that being said, we'll get back to it. You guys hang tight, stay tuned, and we'll get at it. All right, so we're going to be covering the Puro lifestyle today. As mentioned earlier, we'll be talking about self-love, self-awareness, and also laser-like focus to excel. A couple of things, this probably will trail off into some other topics as well too, but as I was saying in the previous video, I have a lot more fun recording these, I think, now, because it's just able to give my mind a complete freedom to roam and just talk about whatever I need to talk about. Some topics that I think people that are supporters of the channel, we've talked about in the past before too, so just want to touch on some things. There have been some things that have happened in my life in the past couple weeks, past few months, that are very pertinent to what I'm going to be talking about in the Puro lifestyle format, and just really excited about it. Also, something I want to talk about too, even though I'm not going to be a fragrance reviewer at all, but periodically I will show you guys what I'm wearing, or the fragrance of the day. Today is by Issey Miyake. It's called Lei or Lou DC Pour Homme Wood and Wood. Very nice fragrance here too. Now, normally I typically would probably wear this one in the fall or winter when it's a little bit colder, but it's a nice gloomy rainy day today, so was looking through my collection and figured I'd wear that one. Getting some nice fruitiness in it, some powdery notes, some wood, some aromatics. It's a very nice fragrance, but if you're not into like wood, fruits, and a powderiness kinda, it's probably not gonna be one for you, but I think it smells nice. It has a good sillage around outside too, and with the rain and the humidity, it kind of helps push the scent on. But that'll be something that I'll periodically do for you guys today too. And also today, the cigar that we'll be covering, shout out to JC Newman over in Tampa or Ybor City, we'll be covering the Perla Del Mar Corojo. Now this is the Toro size, which is a 6 1/4 by 54 ring gauge. Has an Ecuadorian Corojo wrapper, Nicaraguan binder and filler. Great price point on these things too. I think this one retails, or MSRP, around for $7.10. So this is one I've got a chance to smoke through quite a bit of these. Very good cigar for me, good daily cigar. Not a super complex cigar, but a very good one, good price point. And again, I'm kind of trying to get away from where people call yard guards an excuse to kind of smoke subpar cigars. For me, if I'm gonna smoke something out in the yard or do something, I still want it to be a good cigar. This is a very good cigar, especially for the money. Comes in 4 different sizes, including this one, so that's what we'll be smoking. But first and foremost, we'll get into the topic of Puro lifestyle today. We'll talk about self-love. Kind of appropriate on this dark, gloomy day that we have right now too. Y'all have to excuse me. Sometimes as I'm talking, you'll see me looking away from the camera, but it's just me gathering my thoughts and kind of drifting off in my own space to start talking about these things. But we'll be talking about self-awareness and self-love, which I feel like a lot of people are lacking, or a lot of people don't have, and it's a skill set that I think that is learned. It's something that's not many people naturally have. I feel like naturally most people that walk around just depend, and this again is going to depend on your support system, your parents, your siblings, your loved ones, your friends. These are going to be all important factors of whether that person has self-awareness or self-love, and what age do they start becoming self-aware or having self-love for themselves. Because you often see, or I often see sometimes, you might run into somebody that's in their 40s or 50s, and once you have a conversation with them, they still don't have it. You know, you could just tell that they're not really happy with who they are, happy with what they see in the mirror. Contrary to that too, sometimes you might run into a 15 or 16-year-old that has it figured out, and I think a lot of that has to deal with their support system and who they're around. So I think that is a very important thing, and as a former, I like to call myself a former cigar reviewer now, I saw that a lot in the cigar review community as well too. I saw a lot of people that you will just learn to read people through their videos and their content, and you could just see a serious lack of self awareness and self-love for themselves. And I say that too because this will drift off into another topic one day, and we'll be talking about originality and creativity. And for me, when I see a person that is lacking creativity or originality, there's just a very thin line between there, right? You know, we all are influenced or have particular things we look up to certain people in, but sometimes it drifts away from flattery and it begins to be fuckery, for lack of better words. So I look at that too, and I think a lot of people, a lot of the reviewers I see, I just think that they just aren't very self-aware of themselves or very confident in the person who they are. And I feel like I learned that at a very young age in my early 20s, just to be self-aware, really comfortable in my own skin no matter what, and just be positive. And I think that the energy that you bring out to your loved ones and your people that are supporting you, that energy just outwardly goes out, and people just, it rubs off on people in the right way. So we'll go ahead and get this thing lit up. So one of the main things that they did too, they also rebranded this thing and made it look a lot more traditional, and they also reformulated the blend. I believe they strengthened it up a little bit with the Nicaraguan binder and filler. Now this one is a very nice shape too. Like I said before, shout out to JC Newman. They sent me a box of these a couple of months ago, and I've gotten a chance to smoke and really become really familiar with this cigar. Now what I think is cool about this too, they refer to this as a Tampa press, not a box press. I don't know, maybe we might get some B-roll of it some way or another. I have some other cigars, so I'm gonna smoke this one. So if you see some B-roll, it's me pulling another cigar out to show you guys. But this Tampa press is more on the rectangular side. It's not very square like a traditional box press, and they call this a Tampa press, but it's a very nice looking cigar. Like I said before, 6 1/4 by 54 ring gauge. Very nice looking, but like I said, I'm not gonna be doing more traditional reviews. I'm just gonna smoke it and tell you what I think of it. Also, what they sent me too is this nice JC Newman Cigar cutter. I have a couple I think that they sent me too, so who knows, I might send one out to one of my Patreons. One of the things I noticed about this though is it has this kind of like cheap sticker finish. So we'll go ahead and, I don't know, I'll peel some of this off and just probably leave it at plain black because it looks nice black. So, but we'll go ahead and cut this thing up. But as I was just saying earlier though too, I think self-love and self-awareness is really, really important. No matter what you're doing, whether it's cigar reviews or whether it's the full-time job that you're working. Also, what I've noticed from a lot of people too is the lack of focus. And one thing I will say about me is when I first started YouTube, I was very focused and very driven to be very successful. So, and I tell people all the time, in order for you to succeed and excel, you have to be really focused. Life is hard, but it's not hard. And I say it's not hard because if you cover the bare essentials of things and you work hard, you have a great attitude, you have a great character, have integrity, have honesty, I think for the most part you're gonna be fine. But I think if you run into problems when people are dishonest, don't have any integrity or things like that. So, you know, I look back at that now, and like I was referencing the last video too, when I was losing my interest in becoming a cigar reviewer and going through my little spell of depression, I always tell people when I get on camera, I want to be 100%. And so that still boils down to making sure you have laser-like focus to excel. Sometimes we'll get around, and you have to be careful with the circles that you're in and the people that you're allowing in and out of your circle. You'll be a very focused individual, and sometimes you'll let other topics or other people distract you from the ultimate goal that you're trying to achieve. You got to be careful about that. It happens to all of us. I think that we all get caught up sometimes in some drama or some, you know, bullshit or something like that. But you have to remember to refocus yourself, sit down, think about what's going on, remember why you're doing what you're doing, and hone in on it and have laser-like focus to excel. So now what's present in this one, this cigar, like I mentioned earlier too, for me it's not a very complex cigar, meaning that there's not a lot of huge transitions in it. You get a lot, like a nice natural tobacco sweetness. I'm getting a nice oak wood on it, a little faint pepper. It's just a very serviceable cigar for me, and especially at the price point of $7 for a 6 1/4 54 ring gauge cigar that smokes around an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. For me, this is perfect. Like I was saying earlier, If I'm running out in the backyard messing with my kids playing in the yard or cutting excuse me, cutting grass or anything like that, this is going to be perfect for me because it's not something that I'm going to have to be looking at every couple of seconds because it's changing up, or it's not something that burns bad or draws well or draws bad. All the ones I've had have performed very good. Great price point on these two. But going back to this whole topic again too, what I see a lot that's happened in my life, and I see it a lot in other people's lives, is sometimes we'll allow other people, and mainly we'll allow people that really aren't important in our lives to distract us and take us away from what we're trying to do or what the goals are we're trying to accomplish. Me, myself, what's really important to me is taking care of my family, making sure everybody's good on that end, and putting the energy towards people that are putting the energy towards me. I don't have time anymore. Not that I really ever should have had time, but I don't have time anymore. If you're not going to invest time in me and my well-being and my family and make sure that we're okay and we're good, I'm not going to waste any energy towards trying to reach out and make sure that you're okay. For me, everything is a two-way street. Me and Eric had a talk off of camera. Pretty much a lot of the people that are in my inner circle that'll always check me. And that's another good thing too. You need to have people around that aren't afraid to tell you, hey man, you're messing up, or I think you should do it this way and this is why. But I've always had really serious talks with the people that are in my inner circle too. And they're never afraid to check me on something that they feel that I might be wrong on. But I always felt like too that everything is a two-way street in my opinion. I always will feel that way. If the seesaw is to get back, if the seesaw has to go up and down, if it's trying to go both ways, if only one person's participating and it stays on one side, which the ultimate goal of the seesaw is for it to move back and forth. It never moves if both parties aren't involved or both people don't care that it moves. So at this point, it doesn't matter to me, and it doesn't matter who it is. It could be a friend that I've known for 20 years. It could be a cousin or whoever. If they don't put energy in, if I don't feel like they're putting energy or investing in my well-being and concerned about me and my family and what we got going on, it is what it is at this point, and I can live with whatever decision that I'm making. So self-awareness, self-love, you have to be, and I say that to say this too. If you truly don't love yourself, sometimes it's difficult for you to make the decisions that you have to make. But when you truly are aware and you truly put yourself and you love yourself first, you're gonna make those hard decisions that a lot of people won't make or refuse to make. For me, I look at it as the sense of, if I'm not happy, I can't make anybody else happy. So my self-happiness it comes first. I can't expel myself or expend myself out to everybody else, and then at the end of the day I'm sitting down and I'm really not happy, because eventually it's going to turn into negative energy, and the people that depend on me, they're going to feed off of it too. So I try to make sure that I keep my head level, keep it clear, keep it unclouded away from bullshit. And like I said, from time to time things do happen. We're human, it's gonna happen. But I just want to leave you guys with this as a motivational way, or another edition of Puro Lifestyle. Make sure you're loving yourselves. Make sure you're taking time out of your day to take care of yourself first. It's okay to put yourself first in front of your kids, whoever, sometimes that has to be done. You have to take care of yourself in order for it to expand out and grow to everybody else. But I'll keep on smoking this thing for a quick second. I'll come back and give you guys some final notes on what I think about the cigar. But this particular cigar, of course, it's always different. But like I said originally, this is going to be a different format of a review, so you might not see me smoke complete cigars all the time. But trust me, any cigar that I'm gonna pop up on camera now is gonna be something that I've smoked, which I always say that too, even in the traditional reviews. Very rarely was it something that I was smoking first unless it was a new release, but I'm gonna pop up on the screen with cigars that I'm very familiar with. So anything that I pop up on the screen with is something that I recommend and stand behind, so you don't have to comment and say, what do you think about the cigar? I think it's a great cigar for the price point. This is something for the budget-friendly people that are, a lot of guys, or a lot of people, a lot of smokers, I shouldn't say guys, but a lot of smokers are very price conscious. They like to try to stay below $10 or whatever their price point is. They don't really care about the Davidoffs, the Opus X and all that. They just like to smoke cigars, but they like to be budget friendly or budget conscious. This is a very good cigar. I don't remember smoking the old one before they changed the band and the blend, but this is a very serviceable cigar. This is something that I would smoke all the time. And this is something I think that you, even at the regular MSRP, is a great price point, but I think if you wait a little bit of time, you'll be able to find this discounted too. Of course, you guys know the sponsor that sponsors me, Blackline Luxuries. If I'm referring to anything, even if it is MSRP pricing, if you're a Patreon member of the channel or you're a part of the Blackline Luxury Cigar of the Month Club, you'll have a discount code which will drop the price significantly. So with that being said, man, again, like I was mentioning earlier, make sure you're loving yourselves, make sure you're self-aware, and if you want to excel, you got to have that laser-like focus, man. Don't let anybody take you off your tracks. Don't let anybody skew you away, and even if they do, stop, refocus, take care of business, keep kicking ass, and doing what we do. That's what we're gonna stay doing over here. So y'all know the name of the game is relaxation and enjoyment, and damn sure don't forget to be driven, never motivated. We'll catch you on this next one.